Hi guys, my name's Andrew, and rather than doing the normal blog post today, what I thought I'd do is just do a quick sort of video. There's been a bit of a theme that's been coming through on the Photo Chat blog of late, looking at the importance of understanding animal behaviour, patience, time in the field, and also the differences of a normal photographic safari versus your standard safari. So I thought I'd just use an example from last year's migration safaris where we had a fantastic lion sighting which really wouldn't have been the same and wasn't the same for many people that came in and joined us in there during the time that we were there, had it not been for our photographic orientation and dedication for the sighting. So this was the scene that we came across as we pulled into a sighting, and as you can see there's a beautiful lioness sitting at the base of the tree. And if you have a look a little bit closer up in the branches around here, there's a buffalo calf. Now, first of all, many of the guides from the area thought that that was a wildebeest calf, because this lioness is quite well known for taking wildebeest and that sort of thing and moving it up into a tree. But it was quite interesting. This interesting sighting was made even more interesting by the fact that that was actually a buffalo calf. We got there, this lioness was sleeping for a good half an hour before this image was taken, and she kind of lifted her head, and vehicles came, they would spend 10-15 minutes there, if that, and then move on. And even during the time that we were there, within range of our vehicle from where we were, we could see a black rhino sighting, which as soon as that was called in over the radio, a lot of guides moved from this lioness, who was pretty much sleeping, doing nothing at the base of the tree, and raced across to try and get to the black rhino. Now, knowing that we were still there for another 6 nights, that maybe influenced our decision a little bit, but we knew what was going to come of the scene. The lioness had to, it was late afternoon, as you can see. There was a big storm brewing in the back, which made for great light, beautiful backlighting. And we really just made ourselves comfortable. We positioned ourselves. The guest that was with me, we both had full frame bodies with 70 to 200s. So we positioned ourselves nicely. We had the 300s on our second body so we could get in a little bit closer once the lioness was up the tree. And if we just kind of moved forward a little bit, she woke up and started to get a little bit more active, moved around to the base of the tree. And at this stage, we'd been sitting there for a good 45 minutes. We knew exactly what our camera settings were going to be. We'd metered. We took some test shots just to make sure that everything was good, made sure that our shutter speed was fast enough to capture the movement. Gave ourselves a little bit of extra depth of field just in case she went around the wrong side of the tree. And sure as nuts, it was obvious what she was going to be doing next. And as she climbed up into the tree, we were able to rattle off a couple of frames, capturing the full sequence of her actually returning to this young buffalo calf that she'd caught and stashed up the tree. Why she does this? I've got my own sort of theory. She does hang around with some of the other lions, but a lot of the time this female is actually seen by herself. Now, with the volume of scavengers in this area, a lot of spotted hyena in this particular part of the Masai Mara, for her to take that up the tree just secures it and takes it out of the way of these other scavengers which could get it. Also, the size of this tree, I'd be very surprised to see a male lion climbing up there to get that. So she's obviously just stashed it up there in the shade, covered by the trees most of the day. It doesn't get really exposed to vultures. They wouldn't be able to pick it up. And then she can obviously return there later in the afternoon as she did now. Once she was up in the tree, our focus kind of switched a little bit. We watched her move around and settle in. And then she started tucking in. So we kind of got in a little bit closer with the 300s and started to get shots of her actually feeding, which obviously now then helped and start to complete the story. As you can see, the light was absolutely beautiful with those dark clouds in the background and beautiful golden light falling on her. And the light just got better and better throughout this sighting. I think when she actually climbed up the tree, there must have been one other vehicle that was there with us. Everyone else had moved on to that black rhino sighting. So again, it comes down to patience, being able to anticipate and understand animal behavior, and really just sit and wait, get to know your subjects a little bit, spend some time with them, and then you'll get the magic. Don't try and cover everything and race around. It's when you do that you're actually going to miss out on all of your opportunities. That for me is one of my favorite shots, just setting the scene of the Mara with the storm coming in the background. Unique sighting of a lioness up a tree on a kill. You can see that there's a kill there. Not a lot of blood and guts, just a little bit of a hint of blood on the chin. Eye contact, really, really nice. And she continued to feed, and obviously, you know, we spent a bit of time with her. She must have been up there for about 15-20 minutes, and then she eventually popped back down. And as you can see, we also didn't move our vehicle a hell of a lot during that entire sighting. So that was just a different example for me of how, being on a dedicated photographic safari, we were able to spend more time with our subject because everyone was in the same sort of frame of mind. We really wanted to get this unique photographic opportunity. So we spent the time there. We understood animal behavior. Late afternoon, lioness probably going to start to get active. There's a kill in the tree. She's going to go up there. She may well have walked off and left the kill. That would have just been one of those things, but we were very lucky and she did go up. But we knew that she was going to be getting active. You know, had it been the middle of the day, we probably wouldn't have spent as much time there. We would have come back in the afternoon rather. It's also something to keep in mind when you do find lions mid-morning sleeping underneath a tree. If you head back there later in the afternoon, you should be able to get them still in the same spot, and hopefully as the day cools down a little bit, they may be getting a little bit more active and you might get some sort of action out of them. And then obviously just anticipating, getting to know your camera settings, preparing yourself for the shot rather than reacting. We knew she was going to go up the tree, we anticipated that, and we set our camera settings accordingly. Right, that's it for me. I'm Andrew, and yeah, hopefully going to be doing a little bit more of these in the future. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Cheers.